I saw Woj the other day talk about how the way the Lakers are playing, it's bought them a little more time. That they don't feel like they have to make a trade now, like right away. They can afford to wait a little bit instead of having to feel panicked to have to make a move. Had they, if they were like 0-4 on this road trip, and that right now GMs are just kind of calling around, asking other guys what they need. Doesn't sound like there's anything imminent. Is there anything you're hearing, and what did you think about what Woj said?
Yeah, I think the most important part of Woj's report on NBA Today was when he said that if the Lakers were to deal both of their future draft picks that they have available to trade now, 27 and 29, it would have to be for a legitimate star. And that tracks certainly from what we've been hearing and what I've reported and others like Zach Lowe have reported for ESPN. I think the timing thing again is in line with what we talked about on this show, that you're not going to be talking about anything until December 15th, because that's when contracts that were signed this summer can be traded. And if the Lakers do a smaller deal that does not involve Russell Westbrook, it's going to have to involve Patrick Beverley because of the salary number that he has, and you can't trade Beverley until the summertime, and so I mean, until December 15th. So you start talking about deals that can be put into place. And the question is, would this team not only like trade for a smaller type of deal, but would it involve a contract that has money beyond this season? Because there are names out there that you would say that, man, that sounds really good, like Bogdanovich from the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Man, like if you're going to play AD at the five moving forward, the Miles Turner deal doesn't make as much sense, right? Because you're moving AD to the four, and if he's being so effective, looking like an MVP at the five, why do you need to do that?
Well,
And so
can I
then
ask
you,
you this? Can I ask you this? So is AD totally fine with playing five now? Is he past that whole thing where like he wants a five next to him so he can play the four, or are we good? He wants to move forward at five because he sees he's dominating at the five.
I'll just say this: of course, habits are hard to break, and for years he has made it quite clear that he does not prefer to play the five. But you can't argue with these results. And ultimately, and I do believe this, that he cares about winning above all else. And if they're winning with this style of play, I don't think there's an argument against it. And so then you say, what does this team absolutely need? Well, it needs shooting, of course, but it needs kind of a big, switchable, sturdy four that can pick up guys on the wing, but still get some rebounding help. And that's when you talk about a guy like Bogdanovich, a guy like Kyle Kuzma,
Yeah,
a guy
I was
like
about to say
PJ
it. It sounds like
PJ
you just
Washington.
described
Sounds like
Kuzma a little
Kuz,
bit.
right?
Yep.
Bring Kuz back. I mean, he could be just like the player that he was before, but just have brand new teeth. Brand new grill for my guy Kuz.
Yeah,
Um,
different hair too.
yeah, different hair too. That's true, but that's going to continue to change.
Yes.
But I mean, so then the question is, if any of these guys have money owed to them beyond the the end of this season, because if you're doing that type of deal, it means you're holding on to Russ, and you're holding on to Russ. Part of the thinking is that his money's going to come off the books, which will open up free agency money to be able to go after guys this summer. But if in the same fell swoop that you're having that money come off of Russ's books, but then you also are adding some player that has more money guaranteed to him moving forward, you're kind of, it's all coming out in the wash where you're not going to be a player in free agency. And so I think that would be the two-part benefit of, okay, yes, we will these first round draft picks to help this team with a role player this year. Uh, it won't necessarily be this big, completely landscape changing trade involving two picks and a star, because that may just be hard to come by. But we can still help this team now, save a draft pick for the future, and become a player in free agency this summer. I think that's the best case scenario all around.